and she ride Jimmy Choo. I'm on a 15 perky, baby, what we finna do?
This motherfucker is locked.
I just put a brick in the toilet, and I ain't talking about cash. I got two things to say. Anime content is back next week, and 2026 is gonna be our year. I am 100,000 million% certain this year is gonna work out for me, and this is what I'm going to do. Now you can do it, you can skip this video, you can ignore it, whatever, but if you copy me, you're gonna have good chances. And in a year's time from now, I'm gonna look at this and I'm gonna laugh and say, ha, I knew it worked out. I don't want to be around the bush in this video. I don't want to keep your time, so I'm going to keep it as plain and blunt as it is. There's three main actions that I'm taking as part of my behavior throughout this year. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Amazing benefits. I'll break them down roughly a little bit. You can do your own research if you want to know more. This is just for the people that have some level of commitment themselves without me that wants to make a change. These are things I've been doing throughout December as I've been on holidays and away from my overall desk and office and workplace in general. I filtered out what didn't work well, I filtered out what worked well, and here it is. Everybody and their grandmother has heard of dopamine detox by now. But what I propose to you and what I'm doing for myself is a little bit easier, simpler, and to be honest, has pretty much the same benefits. And this is a life of silence. Throughout my day, as I cook, as I work out, as I shower, and as I do what I gotta do, I am no longer constrained by the necessity of listening to music. Now, all of these things that I will say are kind of hard to do from day one, but they get easier very fast. You just have to plow through the beginning. No music, no Ken videos in the background while you're cooking.
In today's video, I'm going to be playing with my dick, my log, and my bush to try and make the most annoying strategy possible.
Just get to work. Now, there's a lot of science explanations for this, but I'm not going to bore you about base level of dopamine or whatever. Look, essentially what it is less clutter, less attention from your brain means more attention stored. More attention stored means more attention capable of dispensing to different places. Your projects, your hobbies, whatever. But this isn't entirely like a dopamine detox per se. I am simply focusing my attention, training it to do one task at a time properly. Most of the time that we multitask, we end up doing two tasks badly at once. But guess what? The other day I was still dancing in the living room with some friends, or when I go to the gym I still talk to friends in person, but all my attention and focus are going to those activities at once. I'm not being distracted by other things. I'm not doing something in order to be entertained because what I feel like I'm doing right now is not so entertaining and fun. No, now I am healthy enough, which is actually crazy to say in this world, to cook a meal or eat food without having to watch something or listen to some music. And to be honest, I've been sometimes reading manga while I eat, but it's a much weaker dopamine inducting activity than noise. In general, I'm cutting out noise and I'm left alone with my thoughts a lot more, which is nice because I have nice thoughts. The second thing you should do this year is do a habit tracker. Now this may change throughout the year into different things you want to implement or learn or do better in general, but having a habit tracker of the like with the little boxes and squares that you tick off little by little can be quite nice. This in itself gives you that dopamine that you might be lacking if you do the silence thing properly, and it's a good way to keep track. And look, you and your grandmother also know about habit tracking, but I'll see if I make a link for you to take my habit tracker so that you can export it to Excel yourself and change out bits and bobs. If I can be bothered to do it, it'll be in the description. Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it if you leave a like. No, I'm kidding. I'll do it regardless. In my own list, I have things that are good for my health, for my aesthetic in general, and for achieving my goals. As you use a habit tracker, you end up competing with yourself too, which is fun. Competition is always fun. Which brings us to the last thing to do. I'm gonna wrap this video up right now. You must set goals. Set goals quarterly, weekly, monthly, yearly, right? For this year, set goals for whatever. You set a goal and you break it down to different steps, but you must define them properly and live your life according to these goals. Set your habit tracker in accordance to this. You live in silence in accordance to this goal of yours because you want to employ your attention into your songwriting. You must ensure that every step you make makes sense. And yes, you can have fun and relax, but relaxation is part of that goal. If I go out or stay inside to dance, or if I go play some music with some friends, it is not directly, something that's going to actually help my goal, but it's something that I do for my own character, for my own sake, for my own peace. This freedom that you must give yourself as well will help you have this inner liberty of saying, I am not trapped in my own vessel. and I can work on my goals. And living a life that actually makes sense, right, in all of your actions, that you're not just wandering about like an idiot, will give you a sense of fulfillment in your day-to-day and joy. Please don't get lost in the source of locking in or self-improvement or whatever, where most people neglect the social needs or the adventure needs or the fun needs, and they try to do a lot of work just to end up doing no work at all. Look, we all say, oh, this is my year, this is my year. Is it? Is it your year? What are you going to do to make it different? Make a plan, stick to it, and see it through. 1 year can be a whole lot of time, and I'm sure that you can smash it out. I'm so excited to see a year from now where I am and how far these practices took me. I already have a healthier mind than I did a few months back. I had been giving into Instagram and blah blah blah. Disgusting. But I have a lot more energy, peace, and desire to go get at it. Strive to be 1% better every day. I don't want to waste any more seconds. And much love.